Episode 4 of President Curtis is what you'd call aggressively average. It's not bad by any means, but it's also not particularly amazing in any way. It's more comparable to Rick and Morty Season 9 Episode 9, Salute Your Morts, and it's made me realize something that I don't think would be changing anytime soon. This is a breakdown and review of Episode 4 of President Curtis. Purchase. As the title suggests, this episode has to do with the Louisiana Purchase. For those who don't know, the Louisiana Purchase was a massive land deal in 1803, where the United States bought roughly 828,000 square miles of territory from France for about $15 million, essentially doubling the size of the country at the time. While the gang are rummaging through the White House attic, they find the receipt for the Louisiana Purchase. Banks, however, translates some of the writing to find a secret message from Napoleon himself, stating that Americans are forbidden from entering the hidden cave in the Third Rocky Mountain. Extremely specific, but don't worry, the premise of this episode gets even dumber. Curtis acts all nonchalant, saying that he's gonna stay out of there, so Banks takes it upon herself to sneak aboard a helicopter tour and see what's going on in that third cave. On the way, she listens to a podcast, and...
What's up, guys? I'm Emil Bottom, and today we're getting to the bottom.
Yep, that has to be Danny Pudi, aka Abed from Community. Dan Harmon loves reusing Community actors, doesn't he? I mean, I only noticed in last week's episode, O'Doyle is voiced by Jim Rash, aka Dean Pelton. So Banks sneaks in, and...
Oh, come on, guys! What the fuck?
Ironically enough, O'Doyle was the one who snitched on her this time, with Banks stating,
We did a whole thing about that last week. We resolved it.
A meta reference to last week's episode where Banks snitched on him. Inside, they encounter a Napoleon mannequin that says that since they've now broken their contract, he can reclaim their land. Given that it's the 21st century now, where Napoleon is long gone, the gang just leave. But that's when the animators start cooking again. For some reason, these guys love to include some incredibly detailed sequences in every season. We saw something similar back in the episode Mort Gully in season 9 of Rick and Morty. Not as insane, mind you, but similar. So this pigeon ends up making it to France, warning the Napoleon resistance of the contract breach. The suits they wear actually look like the inside of the Statue of Liberty from that Thanksgiving Rick and Morty episode. Oh, by the way, if you're enjoying the video so far, leave a like and subscribe. I will be covering this show and hoping to get a big Rick character analysis video done this month. Subscribe so you don't miss out. Back in the White House, Chomps makes a return, begging Curtis to be a part of the team. Of course he refuses, because at the end of the last episode, Chomps became a werewolf and has apparently had an instance where he went rogue since. Honestly, I gotta feel bad for the guy. He's been getting flamed since the last episode, and even after protecting Curtis from becoming a werewolf, he gets treated like shit. Now here's where the episode starts becoming extremely stupid. See, according to the Napoleonic Code, to become a French citizen, all you need is a penis. This is a jab at the real-life Napoleonic Code, which gave men significantly more legal rights than women, and reinforced the authority of husbands and fathers within the family. So now the whole episode is about who can get to Napoleon's penis first, the French or our main gang. Curtis has a lead on where it could be, but just before setting off, he tells Chomps to piss off. It is here where I was like, alright, he's 100% gonna show up last minute and eat Napoleon's penis. And that doesn't exactly happen, but Chomps does come in clutch. But real quick, I wanted to talk about the sponsor of today's video, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Golden Spirit. The time has come. One of the most faithful anime games is finally here. This is the first globally released JoJo mobile game, bringing together iconic characters from arcs 1 through 6. Finally, you can pit up characters against each other from across the anime's history, and assemble them into your own dream team. The best part about this game is that it incentivizes character progression, and there's a fun multiplayer aspect to it as well, with cooperative challenges and guild systems. The game faithfully recreates signature poses, iconic anime moments, and abilities from throughout the series. With its launch, there's a special SSR Jotaro Kujo special summon event now available, where you can complete login events and limited time challenges to obtain rewards. Also, I have to mention what a kick-ass soundtrack this game has. They've released 3 special music videos showcasing the game's characters, featuring original music composed by Yugo Kano, who actually worked on Stardust Crusaders and Steel Ball Run. This guy's a living legend. So what are you waiting for? Download JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Golden Spirit now on iOS and Android and unlock exclusive launch rewards. With that, let's get back to the video. The gang meets with these vampires that take them to a private collection that houses the penis. Man, I've said that word way too much already in this video. Then we get this exchange.
Monty, you up for a quick smash and grab?
Sorry, but we need to be invited in.
Oh my god.
I've always found that trope so funny. Also, how good was Sinners? The French end up crashing the place and they all fight. I like that Banks stops for a minute to invite Elsie in. Banks also keeps translating what these French people are saying. It's such a stupid gag. It is here where Curtis yet again showcases what a badass he is. Always love seeing how competent a fighter he is. It makes me forget how the guy literally went toe to toe with Rick. He ends up taking out the leader by dousing her fire suit with oil. And I have to say,
bad idea to have it designed that way then, isn't it?
Actually wait, one of the French guys already made a joke about that for fuck's sake. Unsurprisingly, the vampires were actually working with the French the entire time and betrayed Curtis. Well, save for Elsie, the only good vampire. She will 100% make an appearance later this season. Also, hang on a minute.
I had no idea about the double cross. Those guys don't tell me shit.
Yep, that's Gillian Jacobs, aka Britta from Community. By the end, the gang ends up stopping the French and the vampires, all with the help of Chomps, who actually doesn't use his werewolf abilities and instead fucking dies. I love Curtis's baffled face. Thankfully, he does end up getting the recognition he deserves. You'll love to see it. O'Doyle ends up learning not to make assumptions on people, referencing his conflict with Elsie, and yeah, that's about it. Like I mentioned earlier, this week's episode made me realize something. This show isn't actually all that funny. That also sort of goes for present Rick and Morty too. Now, I have to also mention that to prepare for my Rick analysis video, I was rewatching season 1 of Rick and Morty, and holy shit, the humor is like night and day.
What are you guys talking about?
Apparently nothing.
You asked them if Pluto's a planet, didn't you?
No! It's not.
Shut up, Rick.
Whoa!
Now, of course, nostalgia plays a big part, but regardless of that, Rick and Morty's humor was so clever, and the one-liners from Rick actually made me excited to watch episodes week to week. This is even before the show injected the main overarching narrative. Now, I know you shouldn't compare Rick and Morty to the show, but guess what? If it's made by the same people and has the same sort of meta lines that references a bunch of shit I've heard nothing about, it makes it seem like the show is just an extremely watered down version of what came before. It doesn't help that season 9 of Rick and Morty was so good. That's not to say the show's episodes haven't been good. They're just fine. That's it. There's nothing offensive or inoffensive about it. It's just aggressively average. Let's see what others have said about this episode so far. Okay, what the hell? I also feel the show, right now anyways, is populated with extremely weak characters. Sometimes it doesn't feel like I can really differentiate the characters from one another. Yeah, Banks and O'Doyle have their own gimmicks, but other than that, their lines don't feel unique to them. I imagine this will change soon though, because again, it is only the 4th episode, and I'm expecting at least one origin story episode of one of them. That being said, I might not make a video of every episode that comes out. That is unless there's a really good episode and it makes me excited to talk about it. I want to focus my effort on things that I'm actually passionate about, and I don't just want to rein it in, which is what I could say of this spinoff so far. I want to reiterate that the show hasn't been bad, but it also hasn't been good, and I think there's something worse than it being a bad show. It could be something forgettable that would be cancelled after its first season. I know a second season has been greenlit, but if there aren't some more clever concepts and genuinely unique plots, then the show is going to be remembered for being that one cash grab that no one watched. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video and subscribe. Let me know what you guys thought of this episode and what are your overall thoughts of this show so far. Would love to read them down below. If you want to support me further, please follow all my socials, join my Patreon, and consider grabbing my book The Shattered Absolution, heavily inspired by the shows I cover, and I want to thank you for watching.